Hi everyone! Today I'm going to talk about my second D&D character, Nora. In the past, I've talked about my first character named Leah, so now I will tell you guys about my other one. I'll start with the basics. Nora is a halfling rogue with the archetype of Arcane Trickster. She has short brown hair, brown eyes, and tends to wear a lot of dark colored clothes and cloaks. She also has a lot of weapons on her, mainly which are concealed or hidden in pockets or clothes. And if you guys are curious on her background story, here it is. Nora grew up in the small town of Roslintar with her father. She became his apprentice, learning the basics of fighting and magic. When she was younger, her father was dragged off into a swampy area by undead creatures, and his body was never recovered. Now thought to be dead, Nora tries to find out who or what killed her father. During this time, she has had nowhere else to go, and ended up joining a group of roguish people who found her. That group was the Zentarum, basically a mercenary organization that works in the shadows of Faerun. After a while of being in this group, Nora learns of their ways and hates all the shady and bad stuff they do. So she decides to sneak away and make it on her own. While traveling, she ends up getting captured by some evil dragon group and is about to be fed to some baby dragons. At this point, she meets the D&D party. They save her and she ends up traveling with them. Nora is a quiet and reserved person, someone to take a while to open up before she ends up trusting others. After staying in the Zentarum for a while, she learns the importance of money, so she really likes to keep it with her at all times. And since she is avoiding this shady group because it's not really known for people to actually leave the group, she's usually wearing a cloak or has a disguise up. Little off topic, but when the group found an endless wineskin, she took it and probably has become a bit of an alcoholic. And other than the drinks, she also really loves daggers. Whenever possible, Nora will try and collect as many daggers as she can. If you know my other character Leah, Nora is basically the opposite of her, Leah being more happy and optimistic, while Nora is more reserved and quiet. So, after traveling with the group, Nora slowly finds out what happened to her father. She's got a few hints that he is linked to the undead or dark stuff, so she ends up researching a lot about ghosts and dead things. Later, it turns out he didn't die, but actually faked his death. He was also in the Zentarum and wanted out, so he decided to fake his death and move on with life. Not caring as much for Nora, he was fine with her thinking he was dead. Later, when she ends up encountering him, after the group captured him, she had a brief conversation with him, and then he ends up dying for real this time. It was kind of traumatic for Nora, but over time and after all he did, she's fine with him being gone. During this time, she also finds out she has a younger half-brother named Ander. Luckily, he was adopted by some normal people, so now Nora is focused on helping him have a good life, since his adoptive parents are also now gone. Unfortunately, while she was away, a dragon attacked the town he was in and he got injured and lost his hand. Nora did offer him lots of gold to get it healed because magic can do that, but he thinks it's cool and wants to keep it as is. Anyway, our campaign is reaching its end, so if everything goes smoothly and we end up all living and saving the day, Nora plans on traveling back to Ander to catch up on all the time they've missed and have a relatively normal life. Oh, and she'll probably fake her death so she can escape the Zentarum. There's also the chance that she might die and not have to fake anything, but who knows. I envision Nora as a quiet and steady person, someone who's always staying on the side and more in the shadows watching the events unfold. She's warm to those she trusts, but cautious to everyone else. Pretty typical of what you expect from a rogue, but fun to play nonetheless. When I play her, I try to focus on this, but in the end, I'm constantly trying to get her more daggers and take lots of casual sips from the endless wineskin. Still in character, but focusing more on her lighter aspects of her. One of my favorite parts about playing a rogue is the sneak attack. It's fun being able to attack and then add a boatload more damage to it. Also, it helps the fact that Nora has an invisibility cloak, so when she wears it, she can easily get sneak attack. I find it funny how, with the fact that even though she's a rogue and should sneak ahead for a lot of stuff, because she doesn't have night vision, sometimes it's kind of hard to. Also, I like to have a set of dice that matches each character I play. So for Nora, I have this dark red set that I got for Christmas one year. I don't remember if I said this for Leah, but she has an emerald green dice set. If any of you guys read my Sugar and Swords comic, she appeared in episode 27 with my friend's D&D characters. Since she loves daggers, I had to draw her picking out some new ones. And speaking of my comic, the physical book just came out. You can get Sugar and Swords over on Amazon, or get the PDF version on my Gumroad. Links will be in the bio, but I figured I should mention it since I'm happy how it turned out. And since Nora is in this book. Anyway, when drawing the illustration, my main focus was to make Nora look all moody and serious. The background ended up being black, and she looks as if she's about to pull out a dagger. Kinda like she just noticed something or someone dangerous. I also drew her hand with the dagger completely out, but I think I like it with her having the weapon just about to come out of its sheath. I also have an older drawing of her that I based this illustration off of. It took me a few times to get the proportions right for a halfling, since halflings are a lot shorter than the regular person, but I think it looks good in the end. I'm not sure if she looks like a halfling from this picture specifically alone, but that's fine. Something I did forget to add for this illustration was all of her weapons and daggers. Since she has a large collection of daggers, they're probably found all across her outfit. Of her collection, I would say her favorite is this, I forgot the actual name, but a hot dagger, which does extra fire damage. She also has a moon-touched rapier, and will sometimes dual wield with a magical shadow blade. So I guess sometimes she'll have like a light, bright weapon paired with a dark, shadowy one. Either way, whenever I draw her again, she needs all of her weapons, and probably the endless wineskin too. Ooh, I just remembered. Speaking of daggers, I do have a dagger right here on my desk that I like to have whenever we have the campaign with Nora. Let me see if you guys can hear this. Yeah. It's not sharp or anything, but it is metal, and it's very cool. Personally, I would love to start collecting daggers. I don't know if Nora's rubbing off on me, or maybe I'm rubbing off on her. Either way, collecting daggers sounds like a pretty fun thing. Okay, time to put that away. That was everything I wanted to talk about, so I hope you guys enjoyed hearing me talk about my D&D character Nora, and watch this illustration. Again, the Sugar and Swords comic book is out now for physical copies and PDF. Links are in the description, so I would really appreciate it if you guys check it out. I will talk to you guys again later. Bye bye!